The soft hum of the waves at Silvernose Beach provided a soothing rhythm to their conversation. Dr. Axell and Miss White sat on a wooden bench, gazing at the distant horizon where the sky kissed the sea. The air was crisp, carrying a subtle chill, but the warmth of their discussion filled the space between them. Miss White, her arms wrapped around herself, looked at Dr. Axell with curiosity.
You often talk about perspectives, about seeing things from a different vantage point. But when you're in the middle of something overwhelming, it's hard to step out and see clearly.
Dr. Axell nodded, rubbing his palms together thoughtfully.
Let me give you a simple metaphor, Miss White. Have you ever been on a merry-go-round?
A faint smile crossed her lips.
Oh, of course. As a child, I loved it. But as I grew older, I started feeling that butterfly in the stomach sensation. At times I wanted to get off mid-ride, but I couldn't.
Exactly. That feeling, the dizziness, the fear, is much like life's crises. When you're on the ride, spinning endlessly, it feels like there's no way out. Your body reacts with discomfort, and your mind panics, wanting to escape. But you can't just jump off.
Miss White sighed, reflecting on his words.
So what do you do then?
You shift your awareness. Imagine just for a moment that instead of being on the ride, you are standing on the ground, watching yourself go around. See yourself sitting there, gripping the bars, feeling the motion. But now, you, your real self, are standing still, observing from a distance. How does that feel?
Miss White closed her eyes briefly. She imagined the scene, herself spinning on the merry-go-round, feeling the pull of motion, the tightening in her stomach. But then, another version of herself stood on the firm ground, watching with a steady gaze. The spinning no longer felt endless. It was just a ride, going around, something temporary. She opened her eyes, an expression of realization dawning on her face.
It's relieving, because now I know I'm not lost in the motion. I have a place of stillness to return to.
Dr. Axell smiled.
Exactly, Miss White. That's how you deal with crises in life. You create a mental space, a condition where you step back and watch yourself. You become both the experiencer and the observer. The pain, the fear, they belong to the ride, not to the one who is watching. And the moment you realize this, the panic lessens. You regain control, not by fighting the motion, but by knowing it's just a phase, a moment in time.
Miss White let out a deep breath.
So, in any difficult situation, I should remind myself that I am not just the one going through it, but also the one who can watch from a distance. That perspective changes everything.
It does. And once you practice it enough, you'll realize nothing truly traps you. It's all about where you choose to stand in your own mind.
The waves continued their steady dance along the shore, reflecting the eternal rhythm of movement and stillness. Miss White smiled, this time not just in understanding, but in quiet acceptance.